subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest updates. Typhoon Maysak is a major threat to the westernmost Japanese islands, and the southern part of South Korea, indeed the whole of South Korea, could get major impacts from this storm and maybe typhoon conditions. Currently 28.4 degrees north, 126.3 degrees east. As of 9 p.m. local time, it had winds of 130 miles per hour and a pressure of 920 millibars, moving near north at 10 miles per hour. This is a CDPS stage 6 for this storm, which has sustained winds of 210 kilometers per hour. Looking at Goseong County in South Korea for potential landfall in the early hours of September the 3rd local time, we're expecting potentially catastrophic conditions with maybe 115 mile per hour winds, that's 195 kilometers per hour upon landfall. Here it is right now then, and it's wind field extending all over the Ryukyu Islands, particularly Okinawa and part of Amami, and currently a category 4 on the Sappho-Simpson scale, 200 miles from Amami, 343 from Kagoshima, 359 from Jeju in South Korea, 374 from Nagasaki, and 501 from Busan. Typhoon warning in effect for some of the islands near Okinawa, and a preliminary typhoon warning in effect for the entirety of South Korea. Maximum sustained winds 130 miles per hour by our estimates, JMA slightly below that, JTWC quite high above that, 145 miles an hour they're going with at the moment. ADT supports that, SATID a little lower. This is the JTWC forecast map then, so this is what they think will happen. The storm will pass just east of Jeju and make landfall in the central part of the southern coast of South Korea with winds well above 180 kilometers per hour sustained, 110 miles per hour, and then moving inland, weakening substantially as it does so, and then curving off towards the northwest. Weakening will probably take place as soon as the storm makes landfall quite substantially, but for the time being it will be only a slow weakening process from here on in. So there you can see it swiping South Korea, and then before you know it the storm is gone after another day or two, and then you've got another enormous typhoon moving through western Japan and possibly eastern South Korea as well. This is on the GFS model, the precipitable water forecast. You can see the mass of that next tropical cyclone, a severe typhoon moving through the southern part of Japan and then on towards Korea and maybe even onto Manchuria and Russia. Sea surface temperatures for Maysak though staying fairly warm. You can see there these are in Fahrenheit and Celsius, that's around 28 degrees Celsius all the way up to the coast of South Korea. So even after Bavi, it's not affected the sea surface temperatures very much. There you can see that major landfall, the orange colors as it did so, moving inland, and then you've got that next major typhoon which will then go on to affect the southern part of Japan. Look at the size of the wind field of that thing, that's enormous. And then moving along the east coast of South Korea still as a typhoon if the model is correct. As for right now then, 10% chance of destructive winds affecting 77 million people, mainly in the Korean Peninsula there. Green onwards is 10% chance, and for typhoon conditions, 53.8 million people in that zone. And you can see the oranges, that's a fair chance for typhoon conditions for those parts of South Korea. Models think that the storm has peaked, and it would make sense if that was the case. Generally, we're calling for a low category 3 landfall. Maybe it will weaken a little bit more than that, we'll see. Wind shear will start to rise quite precipitously, especially tomorrow. Sea surface temperatures will start to decline a little bit, and there's the track forecast. It's pretty clear cut. In fact, JTWC slightly west of what the models are saying on their last forecast. So this is the satellite imagery. Maysak looked very good yesterday and earlier today local time. It had a very warm eye, but it's, as you can see, it's shrunk considerably, and perhaps a collapse of the eye wall is about to take place or is occurring right now. As for land impacts, you can see there Okinawa and the region around there just about had its worst parts of the storm. The next areas that will be troubled by this typhoon will be the western coasts of Kyushu and then on to South Korea. So we'll be watching this storm very closely with landfall expected overnight tomorrow night local time. check out our new look cyclone tracker on the Force 13 website for the latest up-to-date information. You can also find us, of course, on our YouTube channel, search Force 13, and also on Facebook and Twitter, Force 13 at Force 13 on Twitter for the latest updates. You can also help the project become even better by becoming an Ultimate Fan on YouTube. To see the full list of Ultimate Fan benefits and to join, visit youtube.com/force13/join. With a special thanks to our top supporters this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.